Hi all, welcome to the Racing Breaks Royal Ascot preview. Ruby Walsh and me, Tom Stanley, joining you on Sunday evening, so we know what's going to line up on Tuesday. We're going to rattle through, obviously, the feature races on all of the days, 3 Group 1s on the first day, and then the other Group 1s on the day. We'll have hopefully some handicap fancies as well. Ruby and I did this a few years ago. I think we did all right, but, that's probably tempting fate. Yeah, we did. You did? No, we did. I remember. Yeah, we did okay, I think. Yeah. So look, there's loads to get through. Just about the best week of flat racing anywhere, Ruby, right?
I agree with you, and it's such a good event as well. I mean, how many people do you see leaving Royal Ascot that have had a poor day? They might have had a poor day betting, but they've always had a good experience. It's an incredible event, incredible occasion, and I most certainly enjoy going there anyway, Tom.
Yeah, it's great. I like getting dressed up. I like the car parks. I like the racing. What's not to like? Okay, are you strapped in, Ruby? You ready to roll? We're
Quick
gonna
as you
be
can go, Tom. I'll keep up
we,
with you.
we'll be swift. We'll be accurate. We won't be putting up horses we don't fancy just for the sake of it. First of all, potentially the race of the meeting, although the St James's Palace might have something to say about that. At 2:30 kicks things off. The Queen Anne Stakes. You've got an Irish Guineas winner in there. You've got the Newmarket Guineas winner in there from last year. You've got the Lockinge winner, and you've got the horse that somehow hasn't won a top level race in Dancing Gemini, and plenty more besides. Ruby Walsh, who's going to win the Queen Anne?
The Lockinge holds the key, but I think the two horses who are making their seasonal debut in the Lockinge, Rosalie and Notable Speech, are the two to be with. And speaking to Richard Hannon in Epsom last weekend, Tom, he was quite surprised at how hard Rosalie blew after the Lockinge, and he thinks he's come forward quite a bit. I thought he was really good in the St James's Palace last year, and I think he's the most likely winner. But Notable Speech, there's probably a bit of value in him.
The one there probably is when you look at it. He's 11-2, whereas
Yeah.
Rosaline's 11-4. Um, I don't want to back any of them really at the prices. I want to chance Lake Forest to get in the places,
Yeah, if he
um,
stays, he's a chance, isn't he?
and that's it.
He is.
And it's not certain. The straight course at Ascot is littered with big prices and big price winners, and we've seen it in this race before. Lord Glitters won it at 14s, Accidental Agent at 33s, Triple Time won it at 33s. I just I think that Rosaline's the most likely winner, and if you want to play him, absolutely. But I just want to chance Lake Forest because there's a load of ability with this horse, and well, he's unexposed minor because he hasn't tried it before. If he stays, and it's an if, then I think he's a proper chance. But we know he wants quick ground. He's definitely going to get that. Straight course suits his style, and at 14-1, I'll chance him. There we are. Let's move on. I'll skip the 2-year-old races. We might do a sort of 2-year-old wrap each day if there's anything in particular we fancy. The 340 is the King Charge, the third stakes, second of the Group 1s. Anything leaping out at you here in what tends to be quite an open
It
looking
is.
contest? As for a 9-2. She's not for me personally, or 52
No,
days
good
off.
draw though. She's drawn middle to high, so nothing negative for her there. Believing in stall one would have to be a slight negative. Regional is very high, ran a cracker last year. Pace does look to be directly in the middle of the field. I thought Magira had improved considerably since joining Ed Walker. I thought Magira was tough at Haydock under William Buick, drawn in stall 8. And I think Magira's on the improve. I just think I don't know, Tom, you kind of know what the rest of them are. All their form ties together. Magira change of stable, 2 runs for Ed Walkers after winning twice. Just could be the unknown.
Where do you want to be drawn on the straight course, or no hard and fast rules?
No hard and fast rule as such, but high draws are not a bad thing at Ascot, and definitely not a bad thing on the round course either.
Mm. Yeah, we'll come to that. Mile and a half, you might want to be wide. I think when the ground is quick, you tend to want to be high. If they get lots of rain, they're not going to get it this week. They can develop fast side, but I do think I'm starting middle to high. I'm going to chance a horse who is 20-1. That's Westacre for Callum Shepherd and George Scott. 3-year-olds have won this a couple of times in the last 10 years. What he wants is a strong pace over 5. He tried 6 on World Cup night out in Dubai. He just didn't get home. But he's getting 5 here, and I know Maidan's a quicker 5, but he has that style where when he was winning out at Maidan over 5, I was thinking straight course at Ascot was going to suit his style perfectly. And I'm not sure why he's 20-1. I think it's because Maidan form is often disrespected when you come back to the UK. But the Guineas winner this year made a reappearance in Maidan, so I think it's worth paying attention to. Westacre for me at 20-1. Magira for Ruby. St James's Palace. Field of Gold move on?
No.
Ooh, does
No,
that get beat? Sorry. Doesn't
the
get
horse,
beat.
the
It
horse
doesn't
that
get
beat him in the Guineas could well beat him again.
yeah.
I just think even the way the draw has fallen, Henri Matisse in one, Ruling Court in two, Field of Goals out in the middle of the track. The pacemakers look to be outside him. Definitely his own pacemaker. Maybe the Ballydoyle horse will go with him. I mean, Tom, when you look at this race, where do you see Henri Matisse before they turn in?
Uh, the horse is drawn one, and he tends to be patiently ridden. So I mean, what's Ryan going to do?
I
I
see
don't
him.
think he's not going to be he's not going to want to be tucked up on the inner. Ryan will know that.
I can see him in the box seat behind one of his own pacemakers, probably the one that Dylan Brown rides, possibly, maybe Officer. I can see him parked there.
Officer could go forward.
Yeah,
First wave will probably go
I
forward.
could see him parked there in the box seat waiting for the gap. I can see William Buick outside him, angling out to get a run. Rashabar always goes forward or likes to be second row at worst. I think Field of Gold could be last at seven turning in here. And I
Yeah,
don't
but
know if he
last to
get.
seven's not last to. I think five's all right. Yeah. So what? It's a price thing, right? 5 to 6 is just too.
Yeah,
What's
I
too?
just think
It's
a
too
3 to 1
short for
ruling
you.
court. Like I think he quickened the best in the Guineas. You know, rule of Field of Gold was coming at him, but Field of Gold was ridden patiently again in an Irish 2000 Guineas. No, I'm going to say with the Guineas winner, ruling court.
All right, I like it. Ruling court. I think it's. I don't love the prep having been primed for a derby 10 days ago and then changing pace a little bit. And I listen. I was with Ruling Court as a Derby horse, and I was against Field of Gold in the Guineas. But I think what he's done subsequently,
Hmm.
I thought he was
Maybe.
electric last. I think he's just like his dad. He's just too good for this lot. And I think Ruling Court. Okay, quick one on this: 10 furlongs. Who would you be backing between Field of Gold and Ruling Court?
Ruling court.
Yeah, I would, but I think he's too quick, and I think the
Possibly. I
round
think they'll
horses will
go
really
hard here,
suit
though.
Field of Gold.
I think they'll go
All
hard.
right, Ruling Court for you. Field of Gold for me. It's a pretty obvious one. You might want to back him at not want to back him at 5 to 6, but that's where I'm going. Do you have anything else on the day? You got the Wolferton, you got the Coventry, you got the.
I thought the Epsom winner, A Curial Secret, had a good chance in the Wolverton. I like both the Willies in the Ascot Stakes, Reaching High and Poneros. And I thought Aeronautic was overpriced in the last race, which is the Copper House, is it?
Copper Horse.
Copper Horse.
Yeah, Copper Horse is
Copper
still up.
Horse, but he's drawn in stall two. Charles Willies is in stall one, and even though it's only been a few renewals of this contest, no horse inside of stall seven has won it.
I like French Master, who is a very
Yeah,
short price now. I mean, it's a sort of disappointing 5 to 2, but Nick Luck did a preview on his podcast, and this horse got a warm mention, and they got the blinkers on, and that should line him up a bit. I think that horse has got a great chance. Um, Anything in the Coventry? I don't know if you did you give him anything there or
yeah.
not.
Postmodern was really impressive, but you can make a case
That's
for
it.
loads of horses. American Gulf, Underwriter, Postmodern, loads of horses with chances in that. Stad, Warsaw, watch and brief for me.
I thought Underwriter was an interesting each way play, another
Mm.
Wathnand horse, so they could have loads of winners. But I can't. I mean, the vibes are there's not as much between them as the market would have it. And 12 to 1, James McDonald is a very shrewd booking. He's got a
I
good Ascot record. I liked Underwriter.
I thought the same as you.
Good. Well, that's either good or bad or just really boring. Okay, there we go. That's day one done. That's how we'll do it in the format. So we'll come back after the group races and do handicaps or 2 rod races at the end of the day. Prince of Wales' Stakes is the feature on day 2. We've got 10 at the moment. Hopefully they all line up. Obviously, Los Angeles is going to be a warm order. Are you with him? Are you looking elsewhere,
Yeah, no, I am
Ruby?
with him. I think 10 furlongs really suits him. Even further will probably suit him even better. But no, I am with Los Angeles. Obviously, he was a good winner at Tattersalls Gold Cup. And Matt came to try and chin him. White Birch didn't get any kind of a run. But I just think trying to get by Los Angeles is so difficult. And I think they will all come to challenge, but
Mm.
shall not get past Los Angeles and the Prince of Wales.
You see it all the time when Ryan on one of these horses is in front. not even turning for home, but two out. And I know that's not long after the turn. He's so difficult to get, but you so rarely see something go and get him and go past him.
Especially something like Los Angeles, who's only doing enough in front anyway. So I think they'll come. They will all look like they're, or some will look like they're going to get by him, but I don't think they will. It'd be Los Angeles for me, definitely on this ground anyway.
Yeah, so I like Amnat. He obviously won Champion Stakes course and distance on much more testing ground. If it's proper quick ground come race time, that would concern me a bit for him. I'm still on the fence with this one. I can't make my mind up if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind seeing the final field. There's nothing at a price that's screaming out to me. I think it'll be Amnat Los Angeles, and I hope I'm going to know on the day because at this stage I'm not really certain. What else you got, Ruby? You got the Queen Mary that kicks things off.
Yeah,
Queen's Vase.
Zelania, the one in Nottingham with Carl Burks was really impressive. And she's a great way. She won the same race as Leo Vanni, who won this race last year. And she's a great way of doing things. She will bowl along. She's quick, she's sharp, but she's no sort of price. And the one I liked in the third in the fillies race, which is the Duke of Cambridge, I thought Fallen Angel. I think the Lockins form should uphold or at least get a boost even on Tuesday afternoon. And Fallen Angel, who blazed along in the Lock-in, would have improved for that run. And I thought she was the one to beat in the Duke of Cambridge.
The for me, I mean, the word is that Zelania is meant to be the one for Carl and for Wathna, and meant to be the juvenile.
They're one.
Um,
They're one.
so, hey,
They're one.
well, yeah, the one of about 100, but she's meant to be sharp and smart. And I don't know if I'm going to back her at 7-4. I might have something else on the day, but um, I thought Spicy Mark was a price. I don't know what you think about her. I thought she was pretty good on debut. She was pretty well supported, and I was quite impressed with what she did. So I'm assuming she's going there over Albany. So I think at each way price 12-1, I might chance her. Duke of Cambridge, I thought Cinderella's Dream was a stone cold certainty. Ruby,
Did you?
I think she's way better than these. I think she's rock solid. Yeah, I really like her. I mean, she absolutely bolted in last time. But then I suppose you can't see El Malka getting by. It's just whether or not Fallen Angel. I don't know. I still think there's just a bit of back form which is raising um, her rating at the moment, and I'm not sure she's as good as she was. And Running Lion, I know she won, but last year. But I think Cinderella's Dream elevates it. You got anything in the Hunt Cup?
No, definitely not. I don't have anything in the Hunt Cup, but in the Windsor Castle, I thought David O'Meara's Rogue Supremacy should it line up here. Had a squeak, was odds on debut at Wetherby and bolted in over 5.5. And I thought at 12-1, if that lines up, it had a chance.
All right. In the Hunt Cup, I am a bit stung by Kierat, but this is off the back of last year when the horse ran really well and certainly better than the finishing position. That was the Britannia last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was.
And then I think they've obviously had a go over 7 last time with a view on coming straight here. And the yard are a little quiet. That's a slight concern. They've had a couple of winners, but I thought Kierat at 16s was very interesting off a mark of 102. So a little bit depends on the draw the week coming up, but I can definitely see myself having a go at Kierat. Right. Thursday. It's I don't know. Is it a Gold Cup getting you very excited, Ruby, or not really?
Look, without Kyprios, it's obviously a bit disappointing, but he was such a standing dish. Having said that, I do think Illinois has a bit to go to fill Kyprios's boots, but he's certainly going in the right direction. I don't think there's any shame in going down in the ledger last year to Jan Bruegel. He's run twice this year. He's won twice. I think Al Kareem franked the form yesterday at York when he beat Absurd. And I do think Illinois will be extremely difficult to beat. Trollman is an honest horse, but at 7, he's not getting any younger. I don't know too much about Candelari. To be very honest with you, I'm not. Don't major in French form. Sweet William is what he is, and I do think that. Yeah, I think that Illinois, the door is open, and I think he will step into the void left by his stable companion Kyprios.
Yeah, 13-8 Illinois. Before I had a look at the race, I was like, I'm not backing that 13-8. Then I watched him back last time at Longchamp as well. Look at his form. neck second to Jan Bruegel in the Ledger, and neck behind Los Angeles at York.
Yeah, it's rock
Like
solid, isn't it?
he's a proper horse. And
And
I
he's
just think we get caught up with, oh, will he stay 2.5? You've got to stay. Like, well, yeah, he probably will, and he'd just be too good for them. Quick. The thing is, quick horses still win Gold Cups, right? It's not like they're boats. You've got to be. If you're a good horse, you're a quick horse. I don't care what distance it is.
I agree with you. So Ryan Moore's interview last year after Kiprios won, he just said it was straightforward. I knew I was riding the fastest horse. None of us would say that about Kiprios, but he thought he was.
Yeah, and then they always talked about Kiprios as a potential to come back over a mile and a half, and we know this horse can do that. So yeah,
But you mentioned Jan Bruegel, Los Angeles, and he's run at Longchamp before that. He was second to Sussy.
Yeah,
it's rock solid form all along.
Yeah, yeah. Right, while I go and open this door for the dog because he won't stop whinging in my ear. Go on, Ruby, take us through Thursday. Anything else?
You got
about 25 seconds before I'm back, so fill it.
I fill it, yeah. I thought in the Norfolk Stakes, which of course will open the action on Thursday afternoon, I thought Charles Darwin, who looked really unfit and unready when he made his debut at the Curragh in April, he looked a completely different horse when he won at Navan 2 weeks later and then won again at Naas since. So I thought Charles Darwin in the Norfolk would be really hard to beat. And the other one I liked was in the 10 past 6, the Buckingham Palace Stakes. And there's been a few quid for it already, was Richard Fahey's Ramazan, who I got a little bit of word for.
Oh, from who?
Never mind.
Don't say Richard Fahey, because that just makes it boring. Okay. Interesting. What have I got? Norfolk. I didn't hear what you said in the Norfolk.
Charles
I feel
Darwin.
like this is. Yeah. I feel like this is turning into a Wathnam preview. But I absolutely loved what Naval Light did at Beverley.
Did you?
And I just wonder. He might be an out and out 6 furlong horse, but I thought that they won that last year with a subsequent winner of the. Oh, did they win this or the car? I think they won this. And they went for that, and it all went completely wrong. Not by a good horse with good form, but I came away from that thinking I might have a go at that Ascot when it lines up in a Coventry, and it's not there. But I'll have a go at it over 5 furlongs. What else did I have on the day, Ruby? Did you give a Ribblesdale view?
No, Ribblesdale was 340, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing leaping out at you there.
No, they didn't. Not in the mile and a half race. Catalina del Carpio, I thought was a little disappointing at Navan. We might take the long way. Beat her impressive. Now, I do think that it suited Dylan Brown McMonagle in front that afternoon, but we might take the long way. Was well beaten at Epsom. She was only 4th in the Oaks. I was disappointed with Catalina del Carpio on that occasion. Serenity Prayer, second to world. There was no second to world, was there, at York? No, there wasn't. No. Life is Beautiful. No. That's a good second.
I like her.
Falakea.
I like
That's
her.
solid enough form, maybe. But again, Tom, you're pushing me. I didn't have a massively strong opinion on this race.
I think Life is Beautiful, smart. She really caught my eye when she won at Kempton. She was a classic sort of first up Gosden trained filly, I thought, who was, quiet in the stalls, slowly away, green early, but they always finish well. They tend to take a massive step forward for it. I know she bumped into Kontiki last time when she went forward. 2 starts ago, but the Falakea form, I think that's really good form. She was beaten 3 1/4 lengths by a very smart filly, who I don't necessarily think will win a coronation because I think she might want 10, but I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, I assume they're going to go Life is Beautiful here. I think this will really suit. So I will have a go at her. And that's about it. I don't think I've got anything in the Britannia, the 3-year-old race just yet. No, that was all a bit open for me at this stage. Right, Friday. Let's start with the Commonwealth. Obviously, the Guineas third is going to be very popular. Do you think that that's the right way to go, Shadow of Light, or are you looking elsewhere?
I'm looking elsewhere. I can see the case for going back there with him, but I'm going to look elsewhere for Shadow of Light, who put Whistlejacket in his place with a cut in the ground last year in Newmarket. he's a good horse. Shadow Light, don't get me wrong. Babouche was good at Nace when she beat Whistle Jacket. Jean Kill ran really well behind Henri Matisse in the French 2000 Guineas. Whistle Jacket is what he is. And I'm just never been Whistle Jacket's biggest fan, to tell you the truth. But the one I do like at a price is Ides of March. I think he completely blew the start in the Carnarvon Stakes at Newbury. He was dwelt slowly into stride. He was last away from the stalls, which is unlike him. And I think he is a top of the ground 6 furlong horse, and I think the race would really suit him. I thought at 10 to 1 he was value.
Okay, my value shout's Lady with the Lamp in here. I'm not saying she's going to go and win, but I think she's perennially underestimated. Like 20 to 1 won a listed race at Cork from Vespertilio, decent form. Beat Hold a Dream last time. And the key is held up in rear, switched out, almost gets herself into a bit of trouble and finishes off well. Straight course at Ascot over 6 furlongs, I think, would be ideal. I think she wants a straight course. She's proven on quick ground, and I think the run of the race will really suit. Like, is she good enough to? She's rated £18 below Shadow of Light. I get that, and it's hard to argue she's anywhere near Babouche's level. But I just think the running of the race will really suit. I think Shadow of Light will win. I think he'll be smuggled away a bit like he was in the Guineas, and I think he's comfortably the best sprinter in the race. But that's not telling you anything you don't know. But yeah, I think Shadow of Light will win, and I'm going to chance Lady of the Lamp. That's the Commonwealth Cup. The other big race on the day is the Coronation. Price is Falakea 100 to 30. Contiki's a 5 to 1 shot, 13 to 8 for Zaragana. I don't trust her personally. Who are you with?
I'm with Zaragana. I don't think she's perfect state this afternoon in Shanty, so I'm not worried about the form. I am with her. Zaragana, I think it'll suit her. I think she'll beat Falakea. Contiki, exactly. Chantilly Lace Flight. No, I'm definitely with Zaragana.
Do you, just quickly, if she's perfect to run here, do you think Zaragana would have franked the form anyway?
Just about. I would have kept She's Perfect here. I think a mile was her trip. Bit late now. She did. I don't think she stayed today, do you?
No. I was always worried about that.
So was I.
Like, massively. And I look, anyway. Bash is not with us today. But commiserations, it didn't work out. But I think that seems to be the case, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think she'd have had more chance here. I don't fully trust Zaragana. I think she's worth taking on at 13 to 8. And I'm going to take her on with Chantilly Lace. She was my horse to follow this year. Much of that was because I was probably at Salisbury when she won on debut, but she won a race that loads of his good fillies have won. It's a day he tends to target. He targeted it with Remarque. He targeted it with his Arc winner last year, Blue Stocking. And I came away from the day having interviewed Rafe and him saying, we think she's a Guineas filly next year. Now, she obviously went straight there and she ran with credit, having got a bit shorter room. Sure, she was put in her place. And there was talk last year of her being an Arc filly, being an Oaks filly, but she's obviously much sharper than that. I'm still keeping the faith. I think she can cause a bit of a surprise at 12 to 1. I'm a big fan. Really, still liked what she did in the Guineas. She ran in the deep on that occasion when he gave trials to a few, and I'm interested enough that they even ran there. So I'll give her a go at 12 to 1 and keep the faith. Plenty else on the day. Anything jumping out at you, Ruby?
I thought, Ethical Diamond in the Duke of Edinburgh. He was far too keen in the race last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he wears a hood. He got a bump coming out of the stalls last year. It just lit him up. And I can't believe he got as close as he did, Tom, considering how hard he pulled. So, I think Ethical Diamond for me in the Duke of Edinburgh. Obviously, he hasn't had too many goes on the flat since then. He was fourth to Crystal Black. He's only up to £2. And, he'll do me.
I will have a go at, there's a few if they come off. Look, I know the Derby was recently, but I would be interested in both Tuscan Hills and Nightwalker if they showed up. I think Nightwalker is going to show up. I just think they're better than they showed in the Derby. I was positive about them at bigger prices going forward. Derby. It didn't work out. It didn't work out for an absolute shed load of them. Amalok's just a favourite who I'd be keen to be against at 5 to 2. He doesn't do anything overly impressively for me. I mean, he doesn't travel like I think I'd want him to travel. And it's once you turn in at Ascot, right, you don't have that long if he's out the back, not travelling to sort yourself out. It's what's the straight? 2.5, something like that.
Two
It's
and
not very
yeah,
long,
a
is
little
it?
bit more than 2.5, but it depends on how fast they've gone. If they've gone really hard, it's a long
Sure.
straight. If they've gone steady, it ain't that long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the way he travels, that would concern me a little bit.
Mm.
And just confirm, where do you want to be drawn over a mile and a half at Ascot?
Out. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
worried about high draws in any other round courses, even the mile. I wouldn't be worried because it's the horses in front. If they go quick, falling in a hole round in the bend, it catches all the horses down the inside as the traffic falls backwards, and those on the outside get a run.
but it's a sort of you'll often see trainers say, "Oh, Mark Van Ascot, we're going in the car." It's not a bad thing at all. Like
No, because
if anything,
even
it's a good
in
thing
the mile and a half
because you can
races,
come wide.
yeah, but the mile and a half races, what happens is those down the inside have to go forward to hold a position, and they end up over racing, and they're the ones then that fall in the hole turning in.
Okay, there we go. You done on what day are we on? You done on
Friday,
Friday?
I am. There was three on Friday, and Saturday's going to be fairly quick, Tom, too, because we have no entries. And there was the Jubilee Stakes, and I think Inish Sheeran for me, Kevin Ryan. Where are you?
Ish. I think the Japanese horse is a proper horse. So I would be I'm trying to get prices out. I don't know.
Fernando
In
Rev.
Sharon, I've never been taken with In Sharon as a horse. Um, yeah, I haven't got any prices up in front of me. Yeah,
Santano Rev is 6-1 the screen I'm looking at.
the Car Ying Rising form is as good as anything in here. I'm wary of a kind of blue. I'm always wary of the horses that win that back end sprint. It can be fairly desperate ground then, and weirdly often go to horses on the speed, which it has in the past and did then. But yeah, Saturno Rev for me. Yeah, I've got 13-2 here. I think that's fair. The key thing is, I know it's really hard for Japanese horses to pick up and translate their form in the middle of summer here because it's not the perfect season for them. We see often, particularly going around a bend on undulating tracks in the UK or in Europe, it doesn't suit them because they're just not used to it, and you can get easy ground. But this horse is going to get quick ground on a straight course at Ascot, and I think that'll be absolutely fine. There'll be no undulation concerns anyway. And that second to Car Ying Rising, I think, gives him a shout of being just about the best in here. So thought Lazat might not want rattling quick ground either. So Saturno Rev for me is it makes it just about a bet. Anything else on the day? We've got one other race where I think we've got this or not. What have we
Oh, the
got? Oh, the
Wokingham.
Wokingham.
Best of luck with that
I've
one, though.
got I absolutely I mean, he's going to be favourite, but More Thunder is absolutely perfect for this race. So he's a 6-1 shot. I honestly think he could go off 5-2. This horse. There's that much talk about him. He won his race at Newmarket last time, despite hating the track, despite there being a tailwind, and he was ridden off the speed. And I think he's basically a 7 furlong horse, which with the Woking we probably want to be. And he still got up to beat a Ram Ram. Immediately after the race, it was Woking. That's really going to suit immediately what William Haggis said. He's a 6-1 shot. Yeah, I'll back something else on the day. I'll tell you the other one I think is interesting if he runs is the other Haggis horse, which is El Monjed, because he shaped at Newmarket as though he desperately needed the run. And then he's got form in behind a Ram Ram last time when I guess he was a bit disappointing at Newbury, but his style of racing, I think 6 furlongs at Ascot will really suit on the straight course. I'll probably back them both. El Monjed and definitely More Thunder at 6-1. There you go. Just about half an hour as promised. Give me your nap and then anything else you've got at a price that you like.
I really, really do fancy Rosalian and the Queen Anne. Be all over Rosalian, so I would. I think there's loads of interesting races outside of that. Los Angeles. Looking forward to Ethical Diamond. Um, I think the ones you put up, the one that's really interested me was Chantilly Lace. I think she was just in front of Lake Victoria at Newmarket, who's come out and franked the form since. So I thought the one about all the ones you put up, that was the one that really interested me. So it
Chantilly
was,
Lace.
yeah.
Yeah, she's my one at a price probably.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that I tell you what I think will happen. I think Shadow of Light and Field of Gold will win. So those are the two going into the week who I will probably, and I could probably end up throwing Los Angeles in there. I'll always have a couple I pair up, so
Mm.
I can see myself chucking those two in there. Um, yeah, yeah, and I like Life is Beautiful as well. I think she's a price at a mile and a half. I think her form's really good. Can I give you one more who I'd forgotten about,
Yeah.
and then I'll let you go? Duke of Edinburgh, Nakib. So this is a horse to interested to see if they did a horse with any headgear on. Ex Haggis horse, I think, now lines up for Julie Camacho. Has caught the eye on both starts so far, and I'm sure that he's going to prove better than 103. He travelled well last time, but crucially, he did settle. And I just wonder if he needs a little bit of help. So I'll be looking if they put anything on him. He has won cheek pieces in the past. Um, he's got form on quick ground. He's a strong stayer, and they'll go a pace here. I think Nakib is very interesting in that Duke of Edinburgh handicap, that 340 on Friday. Good. Ruby, you're a star. Enjoy
Cheers,
ITV all
Tom.
week.
Talk to you later. See you next week.
Top man. If you're going racing Ascot this week with Racing Breaks or anyone else, have a great week. Keep an eye out for all those trips that Racing Breaks offer you because they are fantastic. Take you to the best racing around the world. Enjoy Ascot week, everyone. Bye bye.